Good afternoon, guys and girls. Archer Gaming here, and I am starting a new series on my channel. It's going to be called The Road to Regionals. For those who don't know, I am a keen avid X-Wing player, and yeah, I am heading off to the regionals in Warbore mid-May, and I'm torn between 5 lists, 5 very different lists. So what I thought I'd do is to sort of spring some life back into my channel. I thought I'd show you these 5 lists and show you the way I'm working out and which ones to choose. So the plan being, I'm going to play at least 2 games with each list. The second game, modifying the list slightly if I want to, unless I really do like it as is. So yeah, next thing you'll see will be the lists, and you'll see my methodology on how I'm working out what to take. And obviously, as always, I would appreciate your advice if you feel like I should change stuff. So I do have my first few games later on this afternoon. So I'll probably do a report mid to late week of how a few games have gone, because I've got other games between now and then. Other things for the channel as well, obviously I've got Salute this weekend. Anyone heading down, please do come and say hi. I'm sure there'll be a video on that. So next thing you'll see will be all the lists. So guys, the first list we have is what I'm calling my A-Wing Crockett Rocket. So essentially it's 3 A-Wings, all green Squadron Pilot. Push the Limit, Guidance Chips, A-Wing Test Pilot. A-Wing Test Pilot allows me to have 2 2 pilot abilities. And these are all going to be equipped with rocket rockets. So essentially it's a suspend of focus to do this attack. So I can vary it, so I don't have to target lots of something and then if it leaves my range 1, then I'm kind of screwed. So again, I just have to focus and I can fire this, which makes it handy. And I may roll up to 3 attack dice equal to my agility value, to a maximum of 3 dice. So essentially, what that means for the A-Wing is they are firing 5 dice at range 1, which is insane. Plus as well with the guidance chips, it's changing 1 to an automatic hit. So, you know, doing some damage there. In worst case, I can double focus, or push the limit, or I can boost barrel, get where I need to. And then adaptability, because essentially it was a completely free upgrade, with the title being free and adaptability, making him pilot skill 4. So if anyone else is playing like a Stormy type list, again it just gives me that option to go ahead of them. So that is 75 points, so they are 25 points each, I believe. Let me just work that out. 19... 22, 25, yeah, 25 points each. And then this one over here is a slightly different variation on it. So again, we're sticking with Green Squadron Pilot, and same as before, guidance chips, A-Wing Test Pilot, push to the limit, and he is fitted with ZXX23S thread tracers. So the reason why he has VI is so he can go first, shoot with the tracers, give everyone else a target lock, because they'll be flying in the swarm formation. Give everything else a target lock, and then everything else can just come in and shoot. The reason why I went for VI on this guy only is, again, it was 1 point, which I would spare on 98 points currently. So I don't know. I'm tempted to flip that with something else for a 2 point. But again, that's something else I can work on, so please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, the thread chasers, so as long as I keep everything in range 2 of him, he fires, everything else gets a focus. Oh, again, I mean, I can always upgrade his pilot by 2, making him to the 5.1 anyway. But again, this is an option. This is probably the one thing debatable for change. But again, it's just giving everything a target loss. You know, if it's focused, just spend the rocket, then it's got the targets and the reroll of 5 shots. It should be interesting. So that is list 1. List 2 will be next. So next up we have one of my more favourite lists going into this. This is actually a variation on which I took to my last store championships, which I happily came 5th in. However, it's been tweaked slightly based on how other players went. I'll talk through that when I get through it. So let's start with Fett first. Obviously the Boba Fett, the VI, inertial dampeners, and then thermal detonators. So I used to run him with seismic charges. However, for that 1 point, giving them a stress can really help, especially against players, ships like Suntier and stuff like that. They make the mistake of getting behind you 1 turn, stress, or double stressing strips. It is worth it for that extra 1 point to give them a stress. It makes it really, really worth it. And then over this side we have Dengar. So with Dengar we have IDs again, adaptability. I'll talk through this in a second. With Dengar's ability, the ability to defend and attack, R4 astromech and advanced proton torpedoes. The plan is, if I do come against another Dengar or something else that's going to be in my firing arc, or pilot skill 9, to actually drop down a pilot skill. Use my action to focus. If someone shoots at me, I then spend the focus during the return attack with him. Then use the R4 astromech to get target lock, then advanced torpedoes. So essentially I'm still getting a focus in case they are getting out of my arc or something. But I think it's just a smart way of getting the target lock, and a way of using adaptability to get down with pilot skill, which again throws a few people off. But yeah, so that's the plan with that. And again, if I don't, I was considering recon specialist in this as well. Double focus, suspend a focus, have a target lock and a focus for advanced torpedoes effect, which I still might do. We then have extra munitions, so I get 2 of these bad boys. Guidance ships and the punishing 1 title upgrade. The modified on this list was I didn't have these 2 before. I had boost on them both, but I found with Dengar I was trying to boost, and the same with Fair, I was trying to boost into a better position, and it kind of distracted me from focusing and being able to modify my dice, which actually cost me quite heavily in the knockout stages. Essentially I was playing against another guy with TLTs. I was trying to boost out of range consistently. If I wouldn't have done that, it would have been a more interesting fight. And unfortunately it was only us 2 who wanted the regional buys, so it was the winner of that game got the buy. As the other 2 who went through weren't planning on attending, so we decided that was the fairest way. Again, I came 5th. The chappie who came 4th, again, had no interest in the regionals, so he was like, do you know what, I can't bother with this top 4, I've got my 4th place coin, I'm just going to go home and call it quits. So I sort of stepped in, luckily, and yeah, it was definitely an interesting game. But yeah, so this is the what I'm calling the Thug Life list. So we have the Thug Life and the Pocket Rocket. So this is my Imperial list now. So we're calling this one Hard at Work. Essentially we have 2 Zelta Squadron pilots. The pilots got 3 guys, naked as they come, as they are. We then have a Palp Shuttle with Tractor Beam. So it's the pilot skill 2-1. Obviously everyone knows what Palp does by now, he can just change a dice. And I've decided to give him Tractor Beam. I was on 98 points for a very long time. I just couldn't really figure out what to do with the 1 point. I looked at upgrading one of these guys, but they're useful as the same pilot skill. So Tractor Beam just, it's maybe different, I suppose. A point, maybe it will help. Even if I just barrel or push something out the way, I have a feeling that will help. I might be able to push something out of range through. Just to keep the Power Shuttle safe for a little bit longer. Then we had Lord Vader, Darth Vader. So we have him sort of standard setup really. Predator, engine upgrade, TIE advanced targeting computer, and TIE X1. So that brings that down to 1 point. As long as I have a target lock, I have a crit. I can boost and I can re-roll 1 attack dice if the defending pilot skill is 2 or lower. So if I'm going against like low pilot skill guys, I'm re-rolling 2 dice. Worst case, I'm re-rolling 1 dice. And during my action, perform 2 actions. So focus, barrel, target lock to keep that on. There's a lot I can do. So Vader's sort of more out there just to pick on other ships. That's just out of the way to hide and just let me change dice consistently. And these 2 are sort of just a bit of extra gunning, really. Good fun. I think this is the list I'm probably going to try out first. So I'll let you know how that gets on later. Right, on to the next list, which is another Rebel list. Now we are looking at what I'm calling the Rebels. Oddly, as you can see, there's a Ghost, there's an A-Wing, and a attack shuttle. So we have Tycho Klitschko in the Ghost. with push limit, Shenardian refit, and auto thrusters, reducing its adaptability as well. Again, it was the same as the Pocket Rocket list. It's completely free to do, so there's no harm in it at all. And he can perform actions even when he's stressed. So it's kind of a bit of a stress build as well, as you'll see later on. So then we have Chopper. At the start of the combat phase, each enemy ship you are touching receives 1 stress token. Then we have Zeb. Each enemy ship inside your firing arc that you are touching and not considering retouching when either you or they activate in the combat phase. So as long as they're sat in front of me, in this bit, I can shoot them, which is awesome. Dorsal turret, I can, and then gives me 360 shots, and if it's a range one I get 3 dice. It's not worth the 3 points for a turret. And then the ghost title, and then the anti-pursuit lasers. So again, it's kind of a little combo with giving them a stress, I can then shoot them, and anti-pursuit lasers. I'm going to be using Chopper as a bit of a battering ram. You know, I'm not going to have any agility anyway, so I might as well just hit them. You know, with Zeb as well, they are not considering when you or they activate, so as well they can still shoot you back when you're in base to base. However, a lot of people do forget that, what I've been seeing in battle reports and things like that. So hopefully, tournament wise, I wouldn't remind people. Friendly wise, I will. And then this is the attack shot. So Ezra, who's when you're stressed, you may change 2 of your eyes to evades, which is quite handy. You know, you only have 2 agility anyway. It's focusing without focusing on the defensive part. And of course, we've given them the TOT, the Phantom Upgrade, and Hera. So essentially, I can just stay stressed forever and keep doing K-flips. So again, stresses aren't affecting Ezra or Taicho. Especially with Hera as well, I can just continuously K-flip. This with Taicho is I need to drop the stress before I do another K-flip. So yeah, that's what we're calling the Rebels list. One more list to go, and this is similar, a very, very familiar list. So I shall see you in the next one. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 lists I'm considering. Again, any help is really, really much appreciated. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on all this. Again, I will listen, and I do pay very good attention to the comments and stuff. Again, I hope you can sort of see the point of this series, and hopefully you learn a thing or two. So the next thing I'll do will probably be I'll probably play most of these lists, like Ghost Wobbling, and sort of maybe come up on a variation of it and just go through that in one quicker video. I'm sorry about the length of this one, but I felt it was important to show you all 5 lists in one hit. So yeah, I'm going to get this edited. I don't know when this is going to go up. It might go up after I've played the games. So there might be sort of one back-to-back, or a day later with, like, I've played 5-6 games, I don't know. I'll give you an update video in a couple of days, guys. And yeah, for those heading to Salute, if you see me, throw something at me, grab my attention, come say hi. I don't bite. But anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye. So, last list of the day, we have my TOT list, which I took to the ECT England qualifiers. For those wondering the results of that, I qualified 5th overall on the regional qualifiers, so I went through to the sort of playoffs for it essentially. And unfortunately, I came 14th. However, my last game I made many mistakes. The player I played against was already qualified for Team Wales. It was half and half, so he had the choice. So I decided to try and compete. I made a lot of mistakes, very, very silly mistakes, and it cost me. Looking at the overall scoreboard, if I would have won even if I would have won with only 1 Y-wing left, like my MOV was that good that I would have come 5th and qualified. However, I didn't, so it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm now focusing on regionals, maybe nationals as well, and trying to keep competitive X-Wing that way. Anyway, so that was a bit off topic. So yeah, anyway, we had Syndicate Thug, TLT, Unhinged Astromech, Cavill, TLT, Unhinged Astromech VI, and Fet, Commercial Dancer, Seismic Chargers, VI. And there they all are. Pretty painted ones. I think you should have seen this list before. If you haven't, go and check out that video. I sort of explained that one in a bit more detail. But yeah, I will see you back in a second.